Every year at Convocation, the University of British Columbia has the honor of bestowing honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the entire university community, have fit the criteria of excellence in their chosen field. We do these honorary degree ceremonies within graduation ceremonies purposefully, because these are individuals who have followed not only the education of their mind, but have followed their heart, who have put others before themselves. We want you, at this early stage of your careers and your lives, to see their example as an inspiration to you to follow your heart. And we also, following the honorary degree ceremony, within this ceremony, ask that individual to actually speak to you and hopefully confer some wisdom of the heart onto you. Rosalind Williams exemplifies these characteristics, and I invite her now to step forward to receive her honorary degree. Mr. Chancellor, Rosalind Williams is an elder, Nekia'a in the Splotchin First Nation, and has long been a steadfast advocate for its people, language, and culture. Born in Enderby, BC, she is a respected artist, known for her accomplishments as a songwriter, archivist, and playwright. She is a leader, a community visionary, and an academic with untraditional training. Rosalind is her community's traditional historian and has worked tirelessly to preserve and promote the Splotchin culture and language, becoming a leader in the documentation and conservation of the language, something that is really critical. In 2000, she created the Splotchin Teaching Society, a community childcare and teaching center where she works actively to research the language and ensure that it and Splotchin culture are passed on to future generations. She was the first woman to be elected chief for the community in 1972 and was one of the first women chiefs in all of British Columbia. She has been a consultant, negotiator, land claims researcher, and has conducted significant historical and genealogical research for her community, working to document her community's history and traditional stories in new forms such as plays and songs. It has been said that everything that she does is not for herself, but for her community of the Splotchin First Nation, and to build relationships with neighboring communities, including the Okanagan Nation and settler societies. The community plays she has helped develop over the decades are cited as extraordinary examples of how the arts can contribute to intercultural understanding on personal, community, and institutional levels. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of her inspiring leadership, artistic contributions, and decades of commitment to the preservation of Splotchin language and culture, I ask you, on behalf of the institution, to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon Rosalind Williams.
By the authority of the Okanagan Senate of this university, I confer upon you, Rosalind Williams, the title and degree Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Would you all please rise for the performance of the Shabbat Women's Warrior Song. Performing today, our Chief of the Shabbat Nation, Gugpi Christian, Marlene Squawkin, Counselor Edna Felix, Laureen Felix, Gabe Felix, and Counselor George William. Please be seated. Class of 2018, it now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Williams to say some words to you. Please give Dr. Williams a round of applause.
My brother Brian said, when you get up there, are you going to faint? I guess I'm still standing, so. President Ono, Chancellor Gordon, distinguished guests, faculty, graduates, families and friends, it is an honor to be asked to address you today. I would like to acknowledge all of my Kwasaltan up here in front. Gugpi Wanuchin, Chief Wayne Christian, his partner Marlene, Kwamipla George William, Kwamipla Edna Felix, and Laureen and Gabe. I thank all of you from Splatcheen for being here today. Over on this side, my daughters, my grandsons, my granddaughters, a couple of great-grandchildren, my niece and my brothers and sister. My cousins and my best friend are all up here in the front row. Gukschalp, Gukschalp. I am grateful to be here today on the lands of my Stuchoanach and Sochapmch ancestors. Their footprints cover this land from the valley bottom to the high mountain ranges, and it gives me comfort to be here in their home, my home. I was born in 1949, and I grew up at Splatcheen by the Shuswap River at the north end of this valley. I grew up during a time of great transition. Life as my family knew it was rapidly changing, and my parents knew if we were going to survive, we needed to understand the language that seemed to be part and parcel of all of the changes affecting them. Reading and writing was a skill our parents felt we would need, and one that they could not teach us. My brothers, sisters, and myself became the first generation of our family to be educated in a system foreign to our parents' teachings. Some of my journey through that education system had its bumps and collision of culture along the way. But what I collected and put into my survival kit was 26 letters of the English alphabet. I was taught how those 26 letters could be combined to form all kinds of words and how to read and write those words. This may not seem to be anything special, especially amongst cultures where reading and writing has been going on for a number of generations, but we did not have a writing system of our own. Everything was passed orally from generation to generation. Being able to read and write using those 26 letters of the English alphabet enabled me to document pieces of our history that would have been lost when our attendance at public schools and Catholic residential schools interrupted the traditional flow of oral teachings from one generation to the next. Knowing how to read and write using those 26 letters of the English alphabet allowed me to write about our striptacular, our stories of creation, our laws, our practices, our language, and our songs. It strikes me as rather incredible at times that something I learned from a foreign source has been so helpful to my survival, to our survival. Receiving this Doctor of Letters today makes me feel like I accomplished the task I was sent into the education system to do. I would like to thank the UBC Okanagan Senate for conferring this honor upon me, and I would like to say Gukschalp to those involved in recommending me for this degree, and Gukschalp to those that supported that recommendation. I am honored to accept this degree on behalf of all of the Stichoinich and Secwepemc elders that have been my teachers along the way. It is my eyes that has read for those that couldn't read, and it has been my hand that has written for those that couldn't write. But it is their knowledge, their life experiences I have written about. So I take this degree, Doctor of Letters, this honor, home, not for myself, but for them. To you, the graduating students of 2018, as you venture forth, my hope for you is that you find the tools of survival that you need for yourselves and for the well-being of those lands that we now all call home. Maybe those gems of survival will be found amongst the absolute unknown, perhaps even amongst people and languages foreign to your own. I wish you well on your journey, and I hope that you too find the tools that you need to survive in mind, body, and spirit. Gukschalp.